I was sent this juicer for my review, and honestly, ever since I got it, I feel like I can't stop making juice. So my husband and I are super into ginger and turmeric shots, and I love to make them. I make them like once a week, and then I just kind of bottle everything, have them in the fridge, and it just makes you know, our morning a lot easier because they're already ready, and it's super quick, super easy, and this machine is so fantastic. So basically, you just kind of have the two compartments. One side here, this is going to be for the waste, and then this side here is actually where the juice is going to come out. I do love that the top here, you've got a really wide mouth here. Let me show you. Let me take that off. So you've got this really nice wide mouth here. So you don't even, like, you just kind of roughly chop everything that you're putting in here. You know, I read like you can take out like the seeds in the core of the apple and just kind of chuck them in. I do cut them a little bit smaller, but I really don't even think it is necessary, which I think is absolutely fantastic. At the front here, let me see if I can turn it around. It's just kind of plugged in. There are little suctions at the bottom as well, which is nice because obviously once it starts going, you're going to have that power and you don't want it to fly around all over the place. Another thing too is it won't start if the lid is not closed, so that would be on there. And then you just have your on. And then this is off, and then you also have reverse. So sometimes you'll notice when you're putting, you know, your fruits or your veggies in here and it's like kind of grinding and doing its thing. If anything gets stuck, you know, obviously all you have to do is kind of put it in reverse and it's going to move it in the opposite direction. And then you go back to your on and it just kind of like gets it unstuck, which is which is really great. So we're going to go ahead and suction that down here. We've got our cups. My absolute favorite is actually just seeing like the waste coming out here. And that's just kind of like the pulp and all of the like skin and stuff of the turmeric and the ginger, because that's really cool. You don't even need to peel the turmeric and ginger. I just kind of gave them a good wash and a good scrub. I did take off the peels of like the lemons and stuff like that, but you know, it will just kind of get rid of that, which is awesome. So everybody's recipe is different. I have a couple different apples here. So I've got green apple. I have, I think, 3 green apples, a red apple. I have a little of the cutie oranges. I have 3 of those. Just like a couple big chunks of ginger and turmeric. I really love the ginger. That's my favorite part. And then I have 3 limes. So I'm basically just going to kind of throw it in here, and we are going to get this going so you can see how fantastic this is. Yeah, let's just turn this on. And so yeah, it doesn't take very long here. And as I said, my favorite part is then seeing all of that come out here. And I'll open this. So you've got that juice nicely flowing out here. Really simple. One of the things I do as well is I also will be adding water to this, because I just kind of find, you know, just straight up like that, it is pretty intense and will like burn my throat. So just adding a little bit of water to it also helps. So check this out. This is like my favorite part. I don't know why. I just think it looks so cool. You can see that it is like really dry. It has taken all of the juices out of that. And this is just all that leftover pulp, which is really cool. You do have the hole at the top. So if your pieces are cut smaller, you don't even need to open it, because if I did open it, it would stop, right? So we're just going to kind of push those through the top there. Whoopsie. Makes it so much easier. Let's get this juice going. I love the apples. And of course, at the end of the day, you can put whatever you want in it. I kind of like found a random recipe and then I just like ended up tweaking it. Because the first time I did it, I had no idea what I was doing. And I actually even think I like peeled all of the ginger and the turmeric, and then I realized that is such a waste of time. So it was very helpful when I realized I did not have to do that. Let's get some more ginger going here. I just love seeing it. It might be hard to see it on camera because, you know, it's kind of got that colored on there, but it's just kind of just floating it around, tossing it around, spinning it. Look at all this beautiful fresh juice right here. So good. I think last time I made this, I put some carrots in it. Sometimes I just throw kind of like whatever is in my fridge. Sometimes I don't have all of the ingredients. And I get like, look how beautiful this is. I love the colors. I love, as I said, super nice and dry, so you know you're not missing out on any of those juices, which of course is the whole point of this. Let's get this lemon in here. So good. Whoop. I don't even think I've ever used like this hole at the top, to be honest. I feel like every time I was turning it off and opening it, not sure. This is like my first time doing that. I learn something new every day. I mean, clearly I could see that it was there. I just, I don't know. All right. We've got everything in here now. One thing you do have to keep in mind, actually, this is the first time my hands look okay. I don't know if you've never like dealt with turmeric before. I find it can be such like a pain because it stains everything. Even my little glass bottles, like after we take this in the morning, I will like, you know, kind of soak it in the sink and there's still like a bit of an orange tinge to it. I've just kind of accepted that it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to turn this off for a second because this is getting pretty full. I don't want to waste any juice, so I'm going to go ahead and cap that. And what I do like to do before putting, oh, it's right here, before putting this in my juice jug, again, there are a few steps. Obviously, you're going to do whatever works for you, but I like to then strain it. So we're just going to put this over top here. I have terrible hand-eye coordination, and I feel like I'm going to make a mess. This is also not great for pouring. Maybe this side will be easier. I thought because it looked like a little spout that would be easier, but I was wrong. I also want to make sure I'm not like wasting a bunch of it. So I've just poured a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'll put this back under here so that we can continue. I'm going to get all that juice out of the top here. So I just like to give it a little bit of a mix here so that it moves the pulp around. This is probably why I end up with turmeric all over my fingers and all over the place because I'm pretty messy. I try really hard. But then, yeah, you've got all that pulp there, so then we just kind of throw that out, rinse it out. So much juice. I love it. And again, this way, just so colorful, so pretty. We're getting down to the bottom here. So I do see that some of them are a little bit stuck. So when you do put it in reverse, you actually have to hold it in place. So now it's just spinning in the opposite direction just to kind of help get some of those chunks that are at the bottom kind of get out of the way. And then now we'll go back regular. See, so it was stuck underneath there and it pushed them up. I know you can't see that on camera, but it pushed them up. And then now it's able to like regrind, like to properly grind them so that it's getting every last bit. We're almost there. I do see another piece kind of stuck there. Let's get that. There we go. There we go. Nothing is going to waste around here. Oh, look at this, massive. I don't know why this brings me such joy. Love it. All right, so we have pretty much gotten everything out of here. So one of the things is, obviously, I'm sure you're looking at this in like cleaning, it all does just kind of like come apart, which is great. But with the turmeric, as I said, sometimes, oh, I'm going the wrong way. So we're going to take that off. There we go. So this will all come apart. I'm going to just kind of do that over the garbage and over the sink, and then easy to rinse out. But I do find some of the pieces are just kind of stained from the turmeric. You know, sometimes there's only so much you can do, obviously. So that's okay. It is what it is. And we're going to go ahead and then there, I've got a better pour this time. I always try and do it too slow, I think. And then when you're too slow, just kind of ends up spilling all over the place. You got to give it that momentum to actually get out of here. And then there's, of course, too much pulp. So let's, and then as I said, so this is like my, you know, the big jug that I pour it all into here. And then I will add a bit of water to this. Like not too much, obviously it will just kind of depend. And it also depends on how much juice you want to make as well. Like, you know, but you don't want it to be watered down too much. So go ahead and give that a big stir. Get all of that out of here. Perfect. And then I've just got some water here. So we're going to do this. Add it in. Stir. There we go. And then we're just going to go ahead and take a sip. So now, again, as you saw from my fantastic pouring skills earlier, I am not that great. So I do like to pour it in this measuring cup with the spout. I just find because like the bottles are pretty tiny. Let's go ahead and give this a taste though, actually, because now I'm like, what if it needs a bit more water? Spicy. Yep. I mean, you definitely could put more water, but I am a huge fan of that ginger punch in the face in the morning. It's definitely my favorite thing to do first thing. So then you have these bottles. These bottles did come with like this little spout, but again, sometimes it gets like stuck. You have to be careful, but that is why I like to use this. And then we just go ahead and I kind of lift it up sometimes because obviously it will stop flowing, you know, so we just kind of do it to there. And then we cap it, and then we have our juice. So I will go ahead and fill up all of these bottles. And then as I said, they go in the fridge. These are 2 ounces. So then, yeah, we take one each morning and, you know, they taste fantastic. It was a really easy process, as you saw. Absolutely love this juicer. And yeah, I hope you will too.